My uncle left his entire fortune to whoever could solve his riddle, so our family turned savage. Uncle Garrett was the black sheep who'd made millions in tech before anyone knew what cryptocurrency was. While the rest of us scraped by working dead-end jobs and maxing out credit cards, he lived in a sprawling mansion with 7 bedrooms, a wine cellar worth more than most people's houses, and a garage full of cars that cost more than my annual salary. When he died suddenly at 52 from a heart attack, we all secretly expected his fortune to go to some obscure charity. His final middle finger to the family who treated him like a pariah for decades. Instead, his lawyer called us all to his office and read the strangest will any of us had ever heard. To my greedy relatives who only called when they needed money or wanted to complain about their pathetic lives, I'm giving you one chance to prove you're worth more than the sum of your failures. Solve my riddle. Claim everything I've built. Fail. And it all burns in a magnificent bonfire while you watch from the street. The riddle was printed on expensive letterhead, sealed in individual envelopes for each family member. Where shadows dance but cast no light, where silence screams throughout the night, where memory lives but time stands still, find the key to my last will. At first, we actually worked together like a real family. My Aunt Patricia suggested his old photography darkroom, where he'd spent countless hours developing pictures. Cousin Dylan thought it meant his study, where he'd sit for hours in complete darkness, typing away on his computer. Mom was convinced it referenced the basement wine cellar, where he stored bottles worth thousands of dollars each. My brother Finn thought it meant the attic, where old furniture gathered dust under white sheets. For 3 weeks, we tore through every inch of his mansion like a pack of wild animals. We moved furniture that hadn't been touched in years, checked behind expensive paintings for hidden safes, pulled up Persian rugs and pried at floorboards until our fingers bled. We searched crawl spaces, examined every book in his library for hollow compartments, and even had his pool drained to check for underwater hiding spots. Nothing. Not a single clue. That's when the family bonds started snapping like overstretched rubber bands. Patricia hired a private investigator who charged $800 a day. Dylan bribed a longtime housekeeper with a $1,000 tip for information about Garrett's daily habits and secret hiding places. Mom started showing up at the mansion at 5 in the morning to search rooms before anyone else arrived, claiming she needed the quiet to think clearly. Finn installed hidden cameras throughout the house to spy on the rest of us, monitoring our movements like we were common criminals. The real ugliness began when Patricia found something she wasn't supposed to find. She was searching Garrett's master bedroom for the 100th time when she discovered a loose floorboard hidden under his massive antique bed. Beneath it was a metal lockbox containing old photographs and what appeared to be a second riddle written in Garrett's distinctive handwriting. But instead of calling the rest of us immediately like we'd all agreed to do, she slipped it into her designer purse and pretended she'd found nothing. Unfortunately for Patricia, Finn's surveillance cameras caught everything in perfect high-definition detail. The next morning, he confronted her in front of the whole family gathered in Garrett's kitchen. Patricia denied stealing anything until Finn played the footage on his laptop, and we all watched her face go from confident to guilty to desperate in the span of 30 seconds. "Give it back right now," Mom demanded, her voice shaking with barely controlled rage. "I found it fair and square," Patricia shot back. "Possession is 9/10 of the law." That's when Dylan completely lost control and grabbed her $1,000 purse, dumping everything onto the marble kitchen floor. The metal box crashed open with a sound like breaking bones, scattering photographs and papers everywhere. There were ancient Polaroids of places I didn't immediately recognize, a tarnished key that looked like it belonged to something important, and a handwritten note that made my blood turn to ice water in my veins. Only one of you actually deserves this fortune. The rest of you deserve what's coming to you. I couldn't fit what happens next in this short video. Watch the rest down below.